Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have got a couple of new news updates for everyone. Of course, it's gonna be Kylian Mbappé. We also have a departure from Real Madrid as well. Also, another tournament, not tournament, but another match, another legendary, not maybe legendary, maybe to some, but another pre-season friendly match could be on the return. If you guys understand what I mean, just stay tuned for that later on. So let's start things off with Kylian Mbappé. I am so sick and tired of this deal. Are Real Madrid going to do anything? Are Real Madrid going to act? Are Real Madrid going to make a bid, make an offer? Now, if you're Real Madrid and you are really interested in Mbappé and you've wanted him for so long and you failed to get him for so many times and you want him, you don't want any other team to convince him to join next summer. Why would you wait until freaking 10th, 9th August? I don't know. But update from Fabrizio Romano. Here it is. PSG believe Mbappé and Real Madrid have agreed for 2024 and it's driving them crazy. We already knew that. So it's not a new update, is it? PSG still believe that Kylian Mbappé and Real Madrid have an agreement for 2024. Nasser Khelaifi is furious about this. And lastly, Kylian Mbappé saga is heading into crucial weeks. What is this update? Basically, nothing, because we've already known about all these news. Of course, PSG feel like Real Madrid and Mbappé have an agreement. They are furious about it. And then we go back to, Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappé, the saga, crucial weeks. It's been 1.5 months, mate. I mean, not Fabrizio, but I'm just saying. It's been 1.5 months of genuinely just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and hearing news and news and rumors and news and rumors and saga, and then we're getting information that this deal is heading into crucial weeks. Has the last 1.5 months, 6 weeks not been crucial? I'm sorry, but I can't get my head around this. Also from Fabrizio, confirmed Mbappé rejected PSG approach to sign new deal with guaranteed exit clause in 2024. We've heard that. So are we just going through things that we've already heard? Is that what we're doing? At least something new here, but not from Fabrizio. It's actually from someone that I've not heard of before, Bruno Andrade. I'm not sure if he's particularly reliable. It seems like he's a journalist that works for CNN Portugal. But here it is. Direct order from Qatar to Kylian Mbappé. Quote, if you stay, you will not play a single minute. End quote. So, feel like we've heard that. But this is actually good news because even the Qataris are getting involved, which I get it because PSG are basically a club owned and run by the Qataris, so it would make sense. But this might actually be a big deal. Let's see. And lastly, to wrap up the Mbappé news for the day, PSG did not allow Kylian Mbappé in their media day. I believe today was their media day, if I'm not mistaken, from RMC Sports. So, in terms of what we got from Fabrizio, Bruno Andrade, and IMC Sport, it's the same that we have heard in the last 6 weeks. The same, PSG want to sell Mbappé essentially. They feel like he's got, a deal for next year for free down with Real Madrid. And if he doesn't leave, he will not play a single minute. And then obviously now he was not allowed for their media day. So it's the same thing. But the one news that we are waiting for, that we have not heard for the last 6-7 weeks, is Real Madrid and what they are planning and what they are going to do. Now that is a crucial part of this whole deal, because if Real Madrid choose not to act, nothing's gonna happen. So Real Madrid have to act, and even if that is putting in a 100 million euro bid, even if it is 100 million euros, which right now seems less and seems like a low bid, but 100 million euros isn't, a cheap deal to say the least. It's definitely a lot of money for any player, but if Real Madrid do go in with at least 100, which would probably be deemed, I think, by PSG as an insulting bid, at least PSG have a decision to make. At least you're forcing them into saying, look, either we sell for 100 million euros or we are going to lose Mbappé on a free. That will force PSG to, I think, sell. Because PSG are not going to say, oh, 100 million euros, that's not 200. We're not going to sell him. We're going to let him leave for the free instead. They're not going to do it. Because you know what? Mbappé has said that he's not signing a new contract. And unless something crazy happens, he's not. So, what else are they going to be able to pull out of nowhere? They can't renew him, which means they actually can't sell him. So the only way is to sell him now. And if Real Madrid are the only club that he wants to join, and Real Madrid come in with the only offer of 100 million euros, they have to accept it. So at least if Real Madrid go in with a cheap, lowball, insulting offer, there's still a chance. But Real Madrid are, for some reason, choosing to, not act, to say the least, and just, put the car on store, hold, guys, hold on, and we're waiting, and then we're being told that this is going into the crucial weeks, when it's been the same for the last 6 weeks. So, I'm not so sure what to think about it, but it's not looking good, because it's the 9th. Bilbao is on the, I think it's the 13th for May, but I think it might be on the 12th. Or is it the 13th for the people in Europe? I think it might be. Either way, it's 12th or 13th, right? Maybe it's 13th, but 3 to 4 days away from the first game, and he's not gonna make it for the first game. And I did say in my preview that I already, recorded. By the way, if you guys actually, to be fair, I think this video is actually coming out before the preview. Yeah, it is. The preview is coming out tomorrow, isn't it? But stay tuned for the preview against Bilbao. But I'm just gonna say now that I believe that if Mbappé, if there isn't a bid gone in by that Almería game, which I believe is the second game of the season, I think we can say, goodbye to Mbappé to Real Madrid this summer. Because if by match day 2, he's not, nothing has even happened by match day 2, what's going to happen? You're going to put a bid in on match day 3, and then by that point, isn't it the end of the window, basically? So it's tough, because if he joins late on, he's going to miss 3 to 4 match days already, and he hasn't even trained, he hasn't even gelled in with the group of players. You still have to take into consideration that he has to come in and play with these players, because it's easy saying, Mbappé, of course he'll fit in, of course, he's the best player in the world. He's playing with people like Vinicius, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Modric, Valverde. Like, of course he'll fit in. But we said that about Eden Hazard, didn't we? We said that about Eden Hazard, of course he'll replace Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's not, jump into conclusion, and let's not say, of course it will, be a success. It's not, and of course. So, he hasn't even trained with Real Madrid, and he hasn't even trained with PSG, by the way. He's been banned. He's been training with players like freaking Julian Draxler, like who are going to leave anyway, so they don't really care. Like, he hasn't even had proper training with PSG along the way, so he's missed out on 6, 7, 8 weeks of proper training with PSG. And he's gonna come in, he's missing out on what Antonio Pintus and the rest are doing, the intensive training that this whole preseason and even last couple of days I've been doing. He's gonna miss out on so much training. He's not gonna do much. He's gonna be thrown in, and it's not going to be a deal that would be a good deal after all, because he's gonna miss 3 to 4 match days. He's not even gonna train. He hasn't even gone through the intensive part of it. Like, he's not even had a preseason. It's not good for the player. It's not good for Ancelotti. I don't think it's good for the club if these deals drag on until match day 2, match day 3, match day 4. By that point, we're probably looking at the end of August, start of September. So it's not looking good, bro. That's what I'm saying. But let's see what happens. I hope that we get more coming out of Fabrizio in the next few days, because he's the only guy I trust. Fabrizio Romano is the only guy I can bet, my life on in terms of footballing wise. But I did speak earlier about an outgoing. Who? It is one of the Castilla players. So Sergio Arribas is gone. But let's see and let's hear what he has to say. So this is Sergio Arribas on Instagram. Hello Madridistas. Today I say goodbye to what has been my home for 11 years. First of all, I would like to thank Real Madrid for the trust and affection they have given me throughout these years. Secondly, I would like to thank all the coaches, doctors, physios, physical trainers, players and the people around Real Madrid. Without them, it would have been impossible to play and the person I am now. At this club, I have fulfilled the dreams that every child has when they join the youth academy. From training and learning from the best players to making my debut for the best club in the world, and even knowing what it feels like to score a goal. I have also been able to make history by winning the first youth league for this club. I have experienced moments that I will never forget and for which I am eternally grateful. Finally, my deepest thanks to all the Madridistas and the fans for all the affection I have received over the years. I feel privileged to have been able to wear this shirt for so long. I hope that our paths cross again in the future. Thank you, and Hala Madrid, Sergio Arribas, with this picture as well. If you remember last season, he did come on against Ali, I believe, not the Saudi one. Is it the Qatari team, Al Ali? And he scored the last minute goal to win 4-1. The game that Rodrigo did well, I remember in the purple away kit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was that one. So he did score a good goal as well. But yeah, he's been at the club since 11 years. And then here's Real Madrid's official statement. Real Madrid and the UD Almería have agreed to the transfer of the player Sergio Arribas. Arribas arrived at our quarry in 2012 when he was only 10 years old, basically youth academy, right? In 2020, he was proclaimed champion of the youth league with our juvenile A. He has played 14 games with Real Madrid's first team since he debuted in September 2020 in an official match. During the last 3 seasons, he has played for Castilla, in which he has scored more than 40 goals and has been the team's top scorer in the last 2 campaigns. Real Madrid wants to express its gratitude and affection to Arribas and wishes him and his whole family good luck in this new stage. Wow. Speaking of making his debut, it was under Zidane, wasn't it? I miss those days. Remember those days, like lockdown, freaking youth players coming in, Lucas Vazquez at right back, Arribas coming in, Antonio Blanco coming in, Odriozola doing really well, Marvin getting a chance. Remember these lot. I'm not saying like Ancelotti is, not a good coach or not a good manager, but I miss those Zidane days, kind of. Like, it was one of the worst periods of this club in terms of the last 10 years, but it also was the period where, because Real Madrid struggled with the absence of Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale, that they had to rely on youth, and because of that, you get to see these youth players. I mean, yeah, it's great. He made his debut. I remember one of the games. I can't remember who he played against. But official picture here, image here of him in the Almería kits. Official Arribas, joins Almería. I was gonna say Almería, but I said Almería. Like, I don't know what the hell I just said. But finally, details of Sergio Arribas to Almería. 6 seasons. So he's basically 21, 27. Almería paid 6 million euros plus 1 for 50% of Arribas' rights. Now, he has a release cost of 40 million euros. Real Madrid could buy him back for 20 million euros plus he has the right of first refusal. We've done this before. Who was it that we did it with? We've did it before. We've did it with many players before. Erdiga, I believe, was one. But obviously it ended like last year, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or the year before. It's typical when you sell these young players and they go all away and they shine and they do really, really well. You want to have the opportunity to either buy them back, or refuse an offer so that Almería can't accept an offer, or you want to have a sell-on clause or something like that in their in the deal. And a lot of big clubs do that. Here it is for Mario Cortegana as well. And lastly, I just want to go all the way down into this piece of news from AS. Like I said earlier on, Real Madrid is set to bring back the Trofeo Santiago Bernabeu in 2024. Now, at first I was like, what was that? Now I'm not gonna act like I know everything about this. So I did a bit of research, and apparently this is a match that is held every year around the August-September period in honor of obviously former president of Real Madrid and even a player, I believe, Santiago Bernabeu. Of course, the stadium is named after him as well. So this is a match played, basically a friendly game. Now, the team that Real Madrid play, I think, could be any team that is invited or selected as well. But I looked through like the previous results in the past, and it seems that the last few times we played whoever we invited, it seems like Real Madrid have won every single one. So yeah, but I'm not so sure why it was cancelled. It ended. Was it because of COVID? Was it because I don't know? But it seems that Real Madrid are gonna bring it back next summer. So we might have a friendly match against Tigres or something along the lines. It doesn't have to be European clubs. I looked through. It was a few South American, a few I think it was Middle East, maybe even Asian, North American. It could be any team, but yeah, it's just a trophy in honor of Santiago Bernabeu. In fact, I think that even if the opponent wins, they get to keep that. Imagine you are a random South American team, and then you have one of these, and you say, "Oh, we beat Real Madrid in the Trofeo Santiago Bernabeu." Like, imagine that would be so cool. But that's a very, very nice touch, and let's see if that is going to be the case. I do believe so. So that is going to be it for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are down below on Mbappé, on Arribas moving to Almería, and on the Trofeo Santiago Bernabeu being brought back. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button when it's dead, subscribe, turn the channel on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.